Hey guys, it's almost like this where I just realized is like someone is doing and I'm spectating. I think it's so easy for us to do that, to spectate and not create. Seeing someone else live their lives and we're just spectators. You know what I'm saying? I think inherently that's kind of difficult to see. I want to see if what's this right here, green screen. Yeah, I can do the screen. I think inherently that is quite hard to do when you're just spectating. You're not realizing that some of us are out here creating every day. And I think that's just, perspectively what we need to learn how to do, right? I go live every morning and let's see if we cover that. Which one was that? Is that there? And I think that's the reality of the crux, right? We're constantly spectating, seeing other people go live in their system, and we miss the point. And I think that's a lot of times influential in what we do here, especially with like 3i Atlas or any other field that we have here. It's just that we're prospectively losing our edge. I feel like that. I feel like right now, example, we have inherently some things we need to take comparative outreach to, right? I think that's one of them. Like if I do this, I got the app on, right? And let's see how this is working. But I truly think that is one of our innate abilities here to find out what we're about and what we're talking about constantly. And just realizing that we get so stuck on not living our lives and creating and just spectating, right? And I think that's the crux of it. Like right now, I do realize like some things are just inherently just that way, right? Where we're looking at our theories and we're subjecting our theories to some one dimensional fields, right? And of course, we're constantly doing comparisons, not realizing we're losing ourselves, right? And that's just my complexity, right? And I think I'm typically in this rabbit hole constantly. Just the inner workings of theories to complexities to consistency and not never like I'm more majority of it is 20% or sometimes it's 5% live talk, live chatter, and 95% research going down rabbit holes over and over again. Like that's just one inherent things right now is what I have experienced, you know? And I think the reality is that either we continue to do that narrative or we come to awakening, right? I love these topics, man. I love the topics, especially like the mapping of metallic orb, the interdimensional theory that I have, which I wish I would do a book on it. This is one of those things, dude. It's like we definitely need to get in the crux of this information, and there's just so much edges and corners of this phenomenon that inherently we as individuals are not realizing, right? Now, right now, I'm doing the Rumble thing, right? And Rumble, I realize, has a few requirements which I didn't realize. Like, what's going on, guys? Got a lot of highs. Hi! And I think that's just one of the crux of it. We're battling it's this complexity, dude. I don't know how I got the 55 on my tablet when I'm not even not even running it. Hope you guys are doing alright, man. If your followers or this, I think that's just one of those things, dude. It's just like we're working in the midst of doing research and we just don't do enough data information. Shout out to Kokaken. What the fuck? Fritz Kokaken. I think that's just one of the initial things, dude. We don't go enough into depth in doing research of what we talk about in this phenomenon, right? That we're typically at a mist, you know. No problem. Like right now, I'm just like I was just looking at a YouTuber. He goes live quite a bit, and I was seeing his profile, right? Oh, that's cool, man. You're 12. I was like, I believe I was 10. I was 10 years old. I was with my parents, and we are going from Pennsylvania, and there were two orbs in the sky, like that, like that. And they're floating in and out, and they're circling us. And yeah, UAP now. They're UAPs now. That's it, dude. That's precisely it. UAPs now. I was just looking at the parameters of Rumble, and Rumble, the life of Rumble is like a different animal, dude. Whole different animal. Stream now. Portals. I got a few save here. Skip that. Yeah, man. It's like no, they were solid white. They were solid white, and we were coming from Pennsylvania, right? We got on route Highway 83, right? And if anybody's ever traveled from Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland, that takes about like a 2.5 hour drive, right? So we traveled continuously, and my mom was going back and forth with me and saying, well, my dad was driving, right? Going back and forth with me saying, "Oh no, those lights were from the dealership." Well, after like an hour and a half, it was blatantly obvious that those lights were not from a dealership. They looked like white discs like that. And after an hour, and I told my mom, I was like, "Bro, this ain't from a dealership." And my dad looks up, and my dad's real fucking quiet. He doesn't say anything. And it got real dead quiet in the car. Everybody got quiet. And me as a kid, I'm fucking excited, dude. I'm excited. Like, it's that about damn time I see UFOs. Yeah, I'm super excited. Meanwhile, my parents are quiet, very, very quiet, not saying much of anything, right? And these two orbs followed us for 2.5 hours down the highway, 83. And we finally got off the highway, and it was to I'm trying to look at the camera here. And they was circling. They do a circle, they come back together, they circle back around, and it kept doing that, right? And we got out of the van. Where it was my dad's little Chrysler minivan. He had that thing nicely decked out. And so he took it out, got out of the van. We went to McDonald's, and we look in the sky, and they were still out there, flying around, going in circles, coming back and forward, touching each other, going, separating, going back together, separating, going back together, and just continuous, man, non-stop. Let's see what other platform here, and that's just basically the crux of it. And we went inside the McDonald's, and then we left out of McDonald's, and they were still out there, floating around, floating around. But when as soon as we got after we sat down and ate in the McDonald's, we got out of the McDonald's, they were gone. Right? They were gone. And that was like sometime in June, and then in August, I had a dream that I was hearing voices outside. Right? And I get up, and it sounded like a white man and a black man talking outside, and I hear two voices, and I go downstairs, and I go towards the door, and then that's what I wake up, right? And in August, school starts again, and I go back to school. The memory of that dream goes away, fades away, right? And then 3 years later, that dream, that dream opens up, starts where it ended. And as soon as I seen the door and I heard the voices, I knew where I was. I knew where I was. I was like, it's that dream again. It's that dream again. So this time I go through the door and there's no one outside. But I still hear the two voices. And they sound like they're up the street. They sound like they're up the street. The voices. Yeah, so it continues. Try to see here. I got a notification here. I'm trying to work this out. Yeah, just resume, right? Okay, so I should check this on later. But if I can travel this, man, I can work it, Because this inherently is a lot better having multiple locations to go live. But with Three Eye Atlas and what's going on with Three Eye Atlas, right? They had basically a YouTube TikTok video that came up, and that one it was talking about uh how this thing has like three freaking dimensions, right? Basically looks like the eye of Taurus to me, or the eye of God. Some prophecies, right? With Three Eye Atlas. Now, and let's see if I have an image of that. I don't think I have. I don't think I got that image. I should have screenshotted it. Let's see here. See if I got the image. No, I don't. I don't got the image. I want to see something else here too. What's this? Chat filter top community moderations. Anyone? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think that inherently what is happening, dude, is we have this 3-eye atlas coming through our atmosphere, and it's supposed to be traveling by our solar system and coming to the other side. And I think that inherently has one of our premieres going right. So I'm trying to see, because I know this would be lively, right? So got that going. Go here. Skip that. What I got? I got a few screenshots. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. Yeah. Hope everybody's doing alright, man. I don't go live on this channel much. So, let me see what this says here. At least 1 minute of content is needed to create a short. Do I got 1 minute content? Create highlights. Okay. Relighting. Touch up. Nice. Hey, if this is your first time, guys, here on the live, man, I'm just trying to see what kind of segment I can do that continues to go live. I think the best way to do this is to go live through Rumble because it shows me live in a few places. Um, that being said, it doesn't have this format right here like this. What's this plus sign? Question polls. How about that? Can I add that? There we go. Start poll. See what you guys think. Do you guys believe in UFOs? Dun, 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 dun. Stream now. See what you guys think about that. See how we do this. Hopefully